Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a really quick repot and I hope that you guys can hang out with me for a little bit. So this is one of the plants that I have on my radiator in my living room. I believe it's an epipremnum. Now when I got it, it was maybe like three or four small cuttings. One was an aria cutting, one was an elbow cutting, and then one was just regular green form. So as you can see, there's not much variegation in that plant now, but it grows pretty well. It kind of acts like a peace lily when it needs to be watered. It just droops a lot and then it just puckers back up, well, perks back up. So I wanted to put it into a bigger pot, and I also wanted to kind of put down those aerial roots to try and fill in the pot a little bit more. It probably could have stayed in the other planter, but it's been bugging me for a little while how fast this one's been drying out. So that's why I wanted to bump it up just a little bit, and it'll probably end up staying in this planter moving forward because that space can only do this size. And the planter is from Dollar Tree. The pot that is actually in the clear one, that is from Amazon. And I think it came out pretty good. So the next one here is my Anthurium regale cross of the Nigrolaminum GG. I mentioned in my other, actually no, in my Anthurium tour video, collection video, that I needed to repot a few of them. So what I decided to do was the ones that are growing out of the pot, like as far as their stem being exposed, those are the ones that I'm going to repot. So pretty much what I'm doing is trimming the roots if necessary, but I'm basically just going to lower the plant into the planter because not all of them technically need to jump up a size, and space is limited. Like I always say, space is really tight when it comes to these plants. So, if anything, I'd rather it start growing new roots up at the top. That way I can prune the bottom and hopefully the plant can still thrive. So the roots were actually pretty good on this, and I didn't really have to prune much off. They felt nice and healthy, and there's a new root, not a new root, a new leaf, the red stem that you guys can see. That's the newest one. It's the largest one. So I think that it's been pretty happy overall, but I just wanted to lower it so that way I can get those aerial roots activated and keep it growing nice and healthy. I'm using the same mix for all of these plants. I haven't really had an issue. The most of the time when I have an issue, it's because of my watering. Either I overwatered or I underwatered. It's not really the mix. Now, I don't know if that's the case with all soil mixes or soilless mixes. I use soil in mine, but whenever there's an issue with the plants, it's because of my watering. That's what I've noticed. Another thing is I've been using some glass vessels and some of the takeout containers. So I think I prefer the plastic ones, mainly because that little tool I was just using, it scrapes so bad against the glass containers and I cannot stand it. Can't stand it. But it's not that bad when I'm using it in the plastic ones. So the plants that I'm going to be repotting from the glass, they're probably going to go into plastic, and I reuse all of my plastic containers, so we're still good with that. Right here I'm just poking a root back in because it was trying to go through the holes. So this is the problem when you get a pot that you put a lot of holes in. Like sometimes the roots may try to escape, but I don't mind it. Either they're out, they're in, whatever, it's no biggie. This plant, it takes a long time for the root to, for not the root, what do I keep saying, the root, for the plant leaf to harden off, and it also takes a long time to grow a new leaf. So I'm super excited about this newest one, and it looks so good. It's nice and big. Can't wait to see what the next one looks like. It'll probably be, I don't know, another 6 months or so. But yeah, overall I think it came out pretty good. And the next one here is my Doriaki Silver. Love this plant, and it's pretty much having the same issue as the other one. It needs to um, get lowered down so that way we can cover up those aerial roots and get the next new leaf coming out nice and big. There is a leaf that's starting to come out now, so I'm trying to catch it before it starts to, grow pretty much. So we'll start to unfurl. So this is what I mean. It's so hard to get it out of the glass vessels, and I end up scraping the sides of the glass, and it's just the whole thing. I can't stand the sound. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I don't like it. But yeah, so this one is going to be going into a plastic container, and I'll still use the glass ones for like my smaller anthuriums because you guys know I have a lot of seedlings. But once they get to a certain stage, I just won't use the glass ones anymore. I'll just switch them on over to the plastic. But I am going to keep the glass ones until they break. I'm not going to waste them and throw them out or anything. So yeah, there was a lot of moss at the root of this one because I kept adding moss in to catch the aerial roots. So I tried to remove as much of that as possible without damaging the roots. And then I just placed it a little lower into the pot and then added back in the soil mix. So I think that is really gonna enjoy this little bump up in size because the leaves have been growing and like getting larger with each leaf like steadily. Like there hasn't been much setback with this plant. So I'm hoping that me doing this repot right before that other leaf starts to unfurl is the best thing, and the next leaf comes out pretty big. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on that, and pretty much all of these after they kind of settle a little bit. So I'll give them a month and then we'll come back and see how this repot went. Now this one, I'm just gonna call this one my BVEP hybrid because there's so many things in it, but I know there's BVEP in it as well. So the same thing with this one. The stem is exposed, and I do not like the what are they called? Extenders, something like that. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of those. Maybe if all of my plants were like huge, then maybe I'd be interested. But right now, I just prefer to trim the roots if I need to, or just lower the plant into the pot and then kind of repot it. I guess you can call it repotting it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with this one as well. And I absolutely love this plant. Something about the leaves, like they're just so round. And I ended up getting, well, I ordered, they're not here yet, but I got some more seedlings that are BVEPs as well because I'm not sure what it is that's in this that's making it round like that. So yeah, hopefully it's the BVEP something in there because they're just so nice and round. I don't know what it is. But either way, yeah, this is how they came out. And this one is my variegated peace lily, which is not looking variegated or peaceful right now. So, I don't know what was going on with it. Honestly, it looks like root rot, but then some of the stems are super firm. So I don't know. Maybe it needs more light. Not really sure. I'm going to take off some of those roots and then one leaf. And then I'm just going to place it into water because I do have an aglaonema that was acting up in water as well. So they're just going to hang out. The aglaonema is doing much better since I've placed it into water. So those two are just going to hang out, be buddies for a little while. Maybe I'll repot them in the spring. But right now, over winter, they're just going to hang out in some water and hopefully get their acts together. So yeah, this is how everything turned out. Let me know if you guys have any of these plants. Let me know if you have any questions. And I think that's pretty much it. All right, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, my likes my plants. All right, bye guys.